Hi guys, it's Shazib Afridi from Game Logics, and this is part 5 of our tutorial series how to make color switch game in Unity. Okay, so in this tutorial, I am going to create a new class which will handle our fading properties, the properties of fading. Okay, in our game, like we want to switch to another scene, so it will uh, fade out this black screen and another scene will fade in. Okay, so that the appearance or the background of that scene will kick in. Okay, so it's a very good thing, like you will learn a lot of things when I will write the script for this class, because it has some uh, cool things, okay, to learn. It has some cool things to learn, and then you can use this technique in various kinds of games, and it's a very useful technique because it will impress the users of your game. Okay, so like you want to switch from one scene to another, and then from another then another. Okay, so from scene to scene, if you want to switch from scene to scene, so it will create a pleasing effect. Okay, that will have a better like looking experience, or you can say a user will have a good experience with your game. Okay, so it's very useful. Okay, so write let's create the class, and then let's write the script for that class. Okay, and so let's do that. Screen header singleton. Okay, so it's also a singleton. Okay, like we will have only one instance of this class. Okay, only one, not more than one. Okay, so let's write the code for this. And okay, so let's give it a proper format that I prefer normally. Okay, so and now we have designed our singleton for this purpose. Okay, now I am going to inherit this screen feather singleton class from our screen feather from our singleton. Okay, so let's do that. And okay, let's pass the screen feather singleton class. So it will be passed in the place of the mm, t. Okay, so as I have told you that it's a generic, it's like a template. Okay, so it will be paused here, and then it will do its thing. So we need a few data members like public raw image, and I can't access it because we don't have Unity engine.ui namespace. Okay, now I can access raw image, and this is our feather raw image. And another public variable is going to be float, and its name will be uh, fed in duration is going to be 0.8 seconds, and fade out duration is going to be 0.9, let's say. And another thing is a private variable fed in alpha, so it will take like 1 second, and then fade out. Alpha should take. Okay, so it will take 1 second. Okay, and we don't want any delay in fading in. Okay, so it will be 0. It will be 0. Let's make it int. Let's make it int instead of float. Okay, so let's make them int, and its fade in shouldn't take any time, so it should be 0 and it should be 1. Okay, not with the suffix f. So it's okay. And private bool is paused. You want to check like the game is paused or not. And another private bool okay. And I think that we should is player quitting. Okay, so it's another variable. Okay, so I think that I should make them static. Okay, because we don't need to create the object of this class. Okay, so they should be static. Mm, okay, let's keep it this way for the moment, and then it's not like we can't change it. Okay, so okay, for the moment, let's proceed with this. Okay, and I will figure it out. Like, do we need or not? Okay, so do we need to make them static or not? Okay, so let's create another game object, and it should game object uh, fader prefab. Okay, be public, and we should create a method awake. Okay, so awake is called before the start, like you can say even when the script is not enabled. Okay, so in this awake method, I'm going to check that do we have set our fader reference or not, like fader reference setup class this our fader reference, is it set or not? If it's not equal to null, okay, okay, so it should be not fader image, it should be it should be screen fed texture. Okay, this variable should be screen fed texture. It will hold our screen fed texture. You can see the image. Okay, basically it's an image, it's a raw image. So we will assign to this our screen fed texture our fader reference setup, and then inside this our fader reference, and then inside this our fader image. Okay, this thing this image. Okay, so our fader, if it's null, then it will point to its own instance. Okay, this it will point to its own instance, and to this we will have already attached this image, this raw image, okay, and it will assign it to this feather image because this script is also attached with our this raw image. Let me show you. Okay, so it will get that raw image, this component. Okay, so it will get this component and it will assign this image to our feather image. So we will have it. If we don't have it, then what we can do is we will create an else statement, like let's say if it's null somehow. Okay, so we have to be careful. Then what we can do is simply we will assign to our feather prefab what we are going to check our temporary game variables and in this we have used what this thing, this the screen feather prefab. Okay, so it will access this and it will have already this that feather canvas. Okay, it's a prefab and it's our folder name. Okay, so I have discussed all these things. So then inside this we will access our screen feather prefab. Okay, so it will get us our screen feather prefab and it will assign it to the feather prefab. And then what we can do is simply we are going to use instantiate method. Okay, it takes three arguments. The original object we are going to instantiate it. Okay, it takes three arguments. The original game object, the first argument is going to be the original game object and the second is going to be the uh, position, vector 3 position, and the third one is going to be our rotation. Okay, so let's pass the proper arguments to this, and the other is going to be our vector 3 uh, position. The third one is going to be, see, it has a different variables, like instantiate has many forms. Okay, so the form that we are going to use, it's this one. So the first argument is going to be original object, so it's our game object, and then it's vector 3 position, and then quaternion handles our rotation. Okay, so it will clone. Okay, so what does it say? It clones the object original and return the clone. Okay, so transform a dot rotation. When doing this, what we are doing simply, it will apply the default position and the default rotation, like this this feather prefab, or you can say uh, this image already, the position or the rotation that that this image already has, it will apply those defaults to this. Okay, here it will apply those default position and rotation to our this feather prefab, which is our basically our feather image, raw image. Okay, so that's it, and then we can simply do this. Let's copy this and let's paste it. Okay, and then in the start method, what I'm going to do is, mm, for this we need to use another namespace, unity engine.scene management. Okay, so we need to use this scene management, and in this start method what I'm going to do is uh, if scene manager dot get active scene. Okay, so it's a class that handles our scene management. Okay, like we want to switch from one scene to another, so it handles all those things. Okay, get active scene dot, is it, it's a method, I think. Yeah, it's a method, it was not a property. Okay, So it has, okay, like build index. Oh, if it's 0, then, okay, like we are on the first scene. The first scene is going to start from the index number 0. So let's do that first. Okay, I think we haven't assigned the index numbers to our scenes, and we have only one scene. Okay, so let's do that. Let's add this scene to our build settings, and see here it's the scenes in build. So see, I am talking about this thing. So it has an index 0, and another scene will have index 1 and then 2. Okay, so it's done. Okay, so now we need a method that is going to be our fed and load level. We don't have this method yet. Okay, so I will create this method. Public void fed and load load level. So it will fed the screen, and load another level means another scene. Okay, so the code of this is going to be, we are going to use invoke method. Invoke method takes two arguments. One is the method name, so the method name is going to be in string. You can see here, and the time that it will take in seconds to take us to that scene. Okay, so fade out from here, and that method has also not been written. Okay, we haven't written the code for this method yet, but we will, and the time it should take will be 2 seconds. Okay, so it's the purpose of invoke method. Like, so what it does, basically invoke method, what it does, it simply calls a method in a specified time. So it's the function of this invoke method. It takes two arguments, and it calls a specified method which we specify in the first argument, and then it will take that much time that we provide in the second argument, like here 2 seconds. So it will call this fade out method. It will call this method in 2 seconds. So this is the function of invoke method. I hope that you got the idea. And then first it will fade out our scene, and then it will load mm, level. Okay, load level, and this is another method name, load level. The time that it will take 3 seconds, and then third time it will fade in, okay, another scene, and the time that it will take is going to be 4 seconds. Okay, so how this works, basically, first, when we are in this fade and load level, like from here, when it is called, okay, fade and load level is called, so it will come here, and then it will like stop here for 2 minutes. Okay, no, oh, sorry, for 2 seconds. It will stop here for 2 seconds here, and then it will call the fade out method, and as the third second passes, it will then call the load level, and then at the fourth second it will call the fade in method. Okay, so first here it will stop for 2 seconds. Okay, it will wait here for 2 seconds, and then immediately after passing 2 seconds it will call this fade out, and then after 1 second, like it's the third second, so it will call this load level, and after again 1 second, the fourth second, it will call this fade in. Okay, so You got the idea, okay? So I think that this is enough for this tutorial because uh, this class we have a lot of things to do in this class. Okay, so this is it for this tutorial, guys. And if you have any questions, like if you didn't understand anything in the tutorial, then let me know in the comments and support me, guys, because your support means a lot. Okay, and thank you for watching this tutorial. If you really like this video, then give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for notifications, and see you in the next tutorial.